Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Game Logic on the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube, one of the co-hosts of the Enough to Keep Going Weekly Games podcast over on the E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube. Back with another episode of the Replication Anecdotes. The Replication Anecdotes is my mini-series of live streams and Let's Plays focused on games in the simulation genre. Tonight we're going to be getting things a little bit sweaty, playing some Forza Horizon 5 on the PC. I was about to say on the Xbox Series S, but no, we're on the PC tonight. Without much further ado, let's get to it. Well, as much little further ado as there is in the PC pulling the game up and doing all of its background synchronization. Hey, sorry I am so late tonight. It was an exhausting week at work, so I actually just fell asleep on the couch with the dog and just way overslept. So, relatively new setup, some new pieces in place, as there always is, pretty much every live stream. Tonight's new piece of gear, you can't see it, is the Thrustmaster T300 RS GT Edition, or Gran Turismo Edition. It's actually a PlayStation 5 piece of gear, built for the PlayStation 5. It is also compatible with PC. It is an entirely new experience, so I have used wheel and pedals before, to great extent. I used to have a Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 Italia edition. It did not have a servo motor inside it like this thing does, and this is an entirely new experience. So we're going to dig into the garage. We don't have as much administrivia to do tonight. So just gonna and actually, forgetting my normal things that I go through here. So we're gonna, as we always do, add a new car to the garage. Tonight we are going to go, actually we're going to go straight into the auto show. And pick out something to buy. Go with this Chevy Super Sport 396. Yeah, I'm getting so bad about credits, I don't even look at the cost of the car. Which is fine for a Chevy Nova, but I need to be careful to not do that once we get to some of the more expensive things. Alright, so hopefully we won't have to go into Forza Vista. but we will. Because this is not going to max out in Class C. Should have checked to see. I think there's no body kits for this, right? Yep. Yeah, I already have a design in paint, so I don't need to do that. We do need to... We do need to go into Forza Vista and just see if there is any way to clear these 2 points, because I'm overly obsessive about getting right up to 600. It's the non-adjustable one. That'll take me to 599. I will not get you to 600. Nor will either of those. They actually won't make any point difference. Nope, too much. And also too much. Now how do I... So what I'm trying to do is... Fine. I'm trying to get to the other... There are some other Forza Vista points of modification here. Ooh, way too high. No, no, no. Hold on. What? Oh, let me make sure. View back. Did I put anything in the basket? I didn't mean to. And I don't want to buy and install those parts. But I don't know how to get them out of the basket. Hopefully, yeah, I'm still at $5.99. Yeah, I was probably trying to click the next icon and wound up hitting the same one twice. Ain't nothing there. Yeah, this is always the frustrating thing when it's like just like 1 point off either way. Come on, man. Which is why the auto-tune didn't land me right on 6. Is that a... Oh, that's what's installed. Sometimes a rim will make the difference. Yeah. Oh. Actually, that right there will do it. See if I have some options here. Alright. So we'll go with the rotiform rims. And I will install that setup. bring me up to 600 even. Great. So the big part of learning curve with this thing that I've been finding is that when the wheels break free, and it's actually easier to drive in cockpit, so I think at least I'm going to start in cockpit, and then I may try and go outside, so we won't have too much of the visuals up front. Alright. Got a new skin for Halo. This is always the problem, that there's always so much stuff that you get every time you come back. So if you were on for the test stream earlier this week, great Scott, man, it takes so long to get through this stuff. Ah, 3 new cars. Okay, I don't think I've updated my drivers since before I started playing this. I think we're okay. Now what it seems like is I'm stuck on cross country, so I've completed that event. It's A-class. I don't know what it was about. I thought I went to one of these. Why did I not go to this? I went to this earlier this week and I decided that was not the kind of event that I wanted to do. So let's just go to this one. And just try and clear some of the stuff off the map. So, so the servo motors in here are incredibly powerful. What may wind up happening is some of the stuff on the desk may shake off and tip over. So I've got the coffee cup on a different place than I normally keep it.
When it is safe to do so.
Oh, I gotta cut through this fence. Wasn't my intention. There may be a fair number of restarts and rewinds tonight. But it's actually easier and more intuitive to drive in cockpit. When I'm outside the cockpit, like the force feedback that I get just doesn't, I just can't get it to sync with like what I'm seeing on the screen. Also notice I'm kind of driving a little bit more like a regular car, and I'm not like just flat out with the engine wide open. Here's another Chevy Nova. So hopefully the audio mix balance is okay. Hopefully the audio mix balance is okay. Didn't mean for you guys to hear that in your ear. I just wanted to take a split second to see how the mix balance was. I think it's alright. Is this even... How's that right now? That's not where I'm going. That event I've already done. And so one of the things that I've done is, unfortunately, which you guys will see tonight, is a lot of derp. I do not have this thing cranked up to a very challenging level with regards to the drivatars. I had to turn them down because, like I said, the way this wheel is reacting is just catching me off guard. What I will say is I have long
400 yards. Turn left.
Given Forza a hard time for being kind of more like an arcadey kind of simulator, or more like an arcadey kind of racing game. Kind of like some of the needs for speeds were. I will say this wheel and pedals turns this very much into a simulator. Oh, holy crap, it's sticking 6 miles to go. Let's go ahead and open her up.
In 400 yards, turn right.
I mean, I'm having to figure tons of stuff out.
Turn right.
Everything from like wheel position. I'm probably too close up on my chair right now. Yeah, see, it breaks the wheels free right there on turns like that, and you like lose control of the vehicle. Like it just becomes unresponsive. So just trying to figure out what the vehicle's doing and how to get it back. It's a bit challenging. What you do not do is you do not, like I do with the controller, you do not just go whipping around corners like with the throttle wide open, barely tapping on the brake. And I'm trying to put some more speed on, but like the difference when you're on controller and even when you're on wheels that don't have these servo motors is like you lose control of the car and you don't really get that in terms of feedback in the wheel, and so you can still like put driving input in, and even if you don't get response, sticking speed zone, even if you don't get response, it doesn't really bother you or mess you up. But with this thing, like the wheel goes dead, and so you have to get the car back under control before you can like provide input. Now, I've seen some people who I think they've learned car spinning out, like how to, I don't know whether or not they have the force feedback off or what, but they've figured out how to like just spin the wheel to keep the input going. I don't know if that's super realistic.
I was chatting to this bloke who said one of the most famous movie cars in history is actually abandoned in a barn somewhere in Mexico. What do you reckon? Sounds like a wild goose chase to me.
Another thing that might happen is also the camera may slip off center because it's clamped to the desk.
Awesome! Wait. Now go do another one, and I'll have my camera phone ready this time.
Now, what I've also found on this is that what you can't do is you can't gone are the days of driving with this thing and taking like a completely inappropriate car on a cross-country run. Like, I was trying to get the Monte Carlo to work on a cross-country run, and it was just not having it. Now, you can spin the wheel and still get input in, right? But the wheel's giving you force feedback and fighting you all the way. And I know, because I'm up on the desk, like with my Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, I know I'm not in a position to spin the wheel as much. Just fine. I kind of want to learn how to drive the car in a more controlled manner with the wheel. But I'm more so trying to learn how to get the speed down for some of these corner entries and how to get it back under control when it goes wonky like it just did. And I mean, I want to drive with, and I think I'm, didn't want to head for the rocks. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm learning to exceed, you know, what my normal turn radius would be with the wheel. I'm accustomed to, like, with the Ferrari 458 Italian, well, quite honestly, I often drove with that with the force feedback off because I felt like the force feedback wasn't well supported in a lot of games. So I think I'm starting to get the hang of where I can exceed the turn, like I said, the normal kind of small range of motion that I would normally use. I think what also makes a huge difference with this wheel, oh crap, man, it's snow and ice. I think I think what also makes a huge difference with this wheel is I feel like
Turn left.
you really have to learn and get a better feel for each individual car and its physics model, because it now makes a huge difference, whereas before,
Turn left.
you know, it didn't as much. And it also just makes me so nervous because I can see the monitors shaking and rattling. Like, and I just, you know, Gran Turismo 7 comes out in a little bit. Hopefully it will be good this year. Gran Turismo Sport did not review well, so I didn't play that. And Gran Turismo 6 I really liked, but it got buried because they released it after the PlayStation 4 launched. And it was only on PlayStation 3, and I was like, why would I buy a game for the PlayStation 3 when I'm trying to buy a PlayStation 4? Now, actually, I didn't buy my PlayStation 4 until, like, February after launch.
You have arrived at your destination.
Overshot there. That actually wasn't too bad. I kind of got a better feel for it as time went on. Coming up the mountain, it was actually kind of good that I took a kind of long drive up. So this is not a tuned-out car. It's not a dressed car, but I'm gonna go ahead and drive it and try and play it like normal, and drive it. And if I lose the race, take it back to the house to get it fitted out. But like I said, I have the challenge level the difficulty level dialed way down, way further than I normally would. The good news is I finally broke this thing out. And because I've had it since like March of last year, and just every time I played a racing game just was like, nah, I'll just use the controller. Alright, so like I said, I have the difficulty level of the driver touch just dialed all the way down. I do have traction control off and stability control off, so I actually don't have the actual assist preset set really any differently than I normally do. Alright. I'm just so nervous to get this race actually started. Alright, let's see how it do. Now, again, I'm probably a little bit... Holy cow, what's going on here? Probably a little bit further... Ooh. So now, with the wheel and pedals, you actually feel like you would probably feel like in a real car, sliding down the hill, just with no traction on the wheels. Like, there was just a point where there's, like, no feedback coming in the driving. This feels really good right now, though. And I can definitely tell, like I said, I think I just needed to, like, and I'm continuing to, I'm not by any means saying that I'm off learning curve now, like, I just needed to, like, I need to cognitively understand what I'm feeling, because there is a sensory and perception gap between, like, what I'm feeling, what's going on in the car, what I'm seeing, and the simulation itself. It's just not fully equating all the time. Okay, so okay. So that's what it feels like when the wheels break loose. Down into second now. Trying to keep my speed up. This is gonna be bad. Woo, right in the water. And part of why I don't want to swing the wheel wildly is, like I said, I got the monitors and everything shaking over here. I'm just living in such fear that something's gonna shake. Ooh. Steak. And that's what, that right there is, I get a lot of bad things going on the desk when I do that. I'm all the way down in 12th. When I do that, when I go from lock to lock like that, man, that causes a lot of stress on the desk. It really, I mean, if I'd known that this was the kind of experiences I was going to have, I might have taken a different approach on what desks I got when I fitted the studio out with desks. Now, what I did see in pregame, as I played with this a little bit last night, is, man, that back wheels are just breaking out, like, constantly. I'm also concerned about, like, the amount of slack that I have on the headset to the Go XLR. Ah! Stink, man, come on. I might just be able to... Okay. That's not horrible. Yeah, that's when it gets frustrating, is when the wheels break loose and, like, you're trying to get the car back under control, and, like, the slightest bit that you apply to the accelerator, like, the wheels just slip right back off. Like, that is particularly frustrating, and I feel like it's not how it's supposed to be working. That's what I'm telling myself. Methodical. And see who got second. Who's got the same emote I do. Well, all right. So I still don't have soundboards and stuff configured to either my Stream Deck or my Go XLR mixer in this new setup, since I just rebuilt the streaming PC last weekend. But the voice effects in the Go XLR mixer, the default voice effects are there, which is normally just what I use anyway. I don't really do much more than that. Okay, so what I got to do now is I got to take this back to the house. Oh, new car collected. M3 GTR. Alright, I gotta find the closest house to get this back to get it tuned up. Got some car mastery. Out of points. It seems like, is there no other...
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Okay, so there's a house a little bit to the south. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I just get hit. No, I haven't learned how to.
In 400 yards.
Yeah, I forgot. This is this thing that is like. It's got a ridiculously powerful engine, but is incredibly lightweight for a truck.
Turn sharp left.
Oh! I was paying attention to the road and trying to learn how to drive this thing, and
Turn right.
Jolie was not paying attention to traffic. Yeah, I mean, you could see it starting to lift tires as soon as the moment I hit the brake.
Turn left.
I will also say it's with the wheel and pedals. It
Turn left.
also makes for, again, what you would kind of normally expect, which is a completely different experience between when you're just commuting and driving it versus in race. And one thing, like I gotta learn like this one-handed turn thing, where I can kind of just
400 yards.
set the car in motion. And get the nose over through kind of the resistance. And then that, like, not overspin it. I hate that wonky side to side. I guess Tao has been playing this game a lot. He said he loved this game, and I was like, man, I don't know the last time I heard Thrustmaster say he was in love with a racing game. Let me get by you there, Bubba. Now, what I have, so a couple things with this wheel too. This has been one of my, and you guys know, anybody who's watched the channel knows that I love playing lots of simulations. I probably don't get as much time to play them as I would like.
You have arrived at your destination.
But, and I obviously, you know, have a lot of different gear for sims. This has been kind of the ultimate wheel, kind of wheel that I've been wanting to buy for so long. Because it's the type where you can exchange or interchange the wheels, the handle itself. And so that's one of the things that I definitely want to use the wheel for, because I play, you know, Formula 1 and World Rally games and things like that, and the driving styles are different, and I definitely want to buy different changed out wheels that go with each simulation type. Maybe not every simulation type. More than one. I would be happy if I get a Formula 1 wheel. Okay, nice. You can max this out so we don't have to goof around with the Forza Fiesta stuff. I don't know what's been going on. I really don't know how best to proceed through the campaign in this game. I was when I was talking about Gran Turismo, one of the reasons I didn't like Gran Turismo 5 was because I felt the campaign was really overly convoluted. And it just made it unenjoyable to go through that grind in Gran Turismo 5. I'm gonna do Baby Yoda. Let me go back. That wasn't even the design that I really wanted. I may go back and put a different design on. Designs and paints. Actually, this one that I was looking for. That one's kind of drab. It's got a lot going on, but I think we'll stick with the Baby Yoda. Ooh, I didn't notice it had that green on the hood. I like that. So this is a wheel that works for both the PC and, turns out, in a great stroke of luck, because one of the reasons I don't normally buy wheels for consoles is because I absolutely hate that business of, like, it's like they, you know, you're totally at the whim of the vendor about whether or not it crosses over to the next generation, and just I always buy these things like at the wrong time in comparison to the consoles coming out. So the Ferrari 458 Italia worked with, well, it worked with the Xbox 360. Of course, I was on the Xbox One by then. Oh, it's got some new cross-country events here. That's cool. Actually, you have a lot of new cross-country events. A lot of new cross-country events. So this is the thing. So I just raced this. Didn't I just race this? So I came in third on one. Does it not put the wreath up unless you actually, like, come in number 1 on the race? Like, it doesn't give you stars like this or anything? That's aggravating. Buggy and the Beast. I mean, because I don't want to go back and drive the race I've already driven. Yeah, that's absolutely the one that I just drove. So, how does that icon compare to new events? Okay, okay. So I guess it's not surrounded with a gold icon and stripe if I've already run it before but didn't win it. Okay, so that's good to know. I was not able to track on that yesterday because I didn't understand it. So this is a new event. There's another cross country. I feel like all I have access to. And so again, I'm not completely sure. Have I run that one before? Because what I'd also like to do is find some racing events that are not just cross country. It seems like that's just the chapter I'm in right now. So I gotta run all these. There's a brand new house over there. Alright, man. I guess we're going to be running cross-country for a while. I mean, I think you can get into these other events, but you have to go into something or other. Alright.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
At least I have the right kind of car for it, I hope. I believe.
In 200 yards,
We're going to go ahead and go
turn left.
back in cockpit. And one of the things I haven't done is, so I have it mapped. We'll go ahead and do that. Controls, change input mapping. Yeah, it says right stick, but there is no representation of a right stick here. So, left. It's not taking that. It's not taking the D-pad. Well, that is not cool. Yeah, this is always the problem with wheel and pedals. I mean, there's no representation of left stick and right stick on this thing. Yeah, that's aggravating that it won't. So what is the... wait, hold on. I wasn't on the right thing. I was on the controller. I don't want to save anything. Yeah, I think all that's fine. I think. Okay, look left. Look right. And actually, I think that's all that I care about. I thought... Oh, this is weird. I thought, oh, so I took them off the radio buttons. That's fine. I'll look at what the keyboard controls are. I thought I had remapped... Well, there's horn. I thought I'd remapped look back yesterday. That's weird. And I wanted the left flipper on the e-brake. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Well, I hope everything else is the same, because this... I mean, the, switch camera. I thought the switch camera looked right. Switch camera, yeah, button 9. I didn't change that. Alright, I hope this is right. Save. Missing keybinds. What? Oh, because I took them off of Forza link in the thing. Come on, man. Alright, you know what? Radio next can be, that and Forza link. Give me that. I don't think I ever use those buttons for anything. Okay. So let's save that out. Hope I did not just mess this whole thing up. So the whole point of that was that I want to be able to see what this truck looks like from... They still aren't as good as analog controls. It's just neat on the controller to, oh, come on, man. Stinking drivatars.
In 400 yards, turn right. Turn right.
So again, I think I'm
200 yards.
remapping my brain to do things the way I would do in a normal car and start to come out of the turn before the turn's actually done. It's just so, again, you can just see like the realization of like how you do things so differently in a driving game versus how you behave in the real world.
In 400 yards, turn right.
Go around you here, Skinny.
Turn right.
Oh, just down under here.
In 400 yards, turn sharp left.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Turn sharp left.
Just such a funky feeling with the wheel. Let's just see how all kinds of bad this can wind up with me up at speed like this. Woo! Holy crap, man. Came in, like, it was 40 miles per hour by my speed. He probably came through here in a super sport car. Yeah, I'm definitely realizing and feeling that once I do learn this thing, like, I'm still dealing with the wonkiness, but I can definitely feel that, like, once I am, like, on the drum beat for, like, the control on this thing, it is a heck of a lot more refined than going through here with the controller.
Turn right. In 100 yards, turn right.
And I'm actually getting to the point now where I can quickly, again,
In 400 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
when I was going through this before, I was kind of reluctant. Oh, stink. There's a stinking XP board.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Yeah, so I'm I'm starting to get it down. I'm definitely feeling out too where I
You
can
arrived at your destination.
flip from driving kinda. Okay, so we will that's interesting. So it doesn't recommend the car that I'm currently in. Alright, we'll drive the ZR2. So we're gonna have to do the same thing. We'll drive this, and then I kind of use taking these cars out for the first time in a race as an excuse and a way of keeping organizationally straight in my head what cars have been tuned and upgraded. Because I just don't. I'm getting better about tuning and upgrading them as soon as I buy them. But there's tons of cars in your garage that you've never driven before, so it's like I have to have some type of forcing function to make me actually go buy them and use them. So I do apologize that there has been less actual driving tonight than I might normally want. Oh, is this the car I picked? I thought this is not. I thought I picked the ZR2. Okay, so this is straight up cross country. Now the other problem this creates is, I said, you know, it makes a huge difference when you don't, like, know the feel of the car and the physics model because it's so different from car to car now. I'm completely clear. There's like no one. So as long as I don't bagoon this up, I may be okay. And that also plays into decisions I make. Like, so normally I go through this on a controller just like wide open, like all the way. But now because like losing control of this vehicle with this wheel can be so catastrophic, I'm like much more conservative about like, do I really need to go into that corner like full wide throttle? Like, is there anybody right here? Is that really necessary? And if it's not, I'm backing out. I'm backing down on that speed because this thing completely getting off the rails is just so difficult to get back under control. Like I said, I think I mean, we could see my performance eking up a little bit, like each event, even driving cross country, just being able to kind of slowly okay, so that wasn't good. But it is what it is. Where's the radio, man? Oh, there we go. It's actually kind of neat having it down here, this little one-handed. And what I gotta do? Oh, did I miss the classical? Here we go. What? Did I go from derp to hero in the course of 1 hour of gameplay? Land Rover Defender. I just chewed through that like it was nobody's business.
5 cross-country wins already. Crikey. Do you do this to all the race coordinators or just me?
Let's go! So what I don't know is, yeah, so this car is not tuned. It's not capped out in its class, so we're going to do my standard and head to the house. Looks like we got Casa Bella right over here. And get this thing souped up. Kind of angry that I didn't take the ZR2. Would have been much more interested in souping that up than this Land Rover. So I think the next key is not only
Turn around when it is safe to
can I
do
just
so.
drive with one hand, but can I get comfortable with this thing? That's still not where I'm just gonna cross country it, bro.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Okay. Radio's a little aggravating. I'm starting to dial it in. I'm starting to feel it. Now, of course, I'm driving these four-wheel drive cross-country vehicles. This, again, may be a thing that completely tips on its head once Oh, what's that lane change there, Bubba? This may be a thing that completely tips on its head once I start getting back to driving supercars and whatnot. Oh, it's my exit. But I will say, even before I start, I was too afraid to jam the wheel all the way over to avoid him because of the way you can so radically lose control with this thing.
In 400 yards, turn left.
Flip mode, squad.
Turn left.
I'm also starting to learn where I can start feeding the accelerator in mid-corner. Should be a good thing.
That was definitely something. Try to hold it through the flags next time. It's not easy.
Did an event kick off that I missed? Sounds like it. Alright, let's try and get this thing up to 600. Fred. Have to mess around in Forza Vista again. Which, yeah, I don't always mind doing. It's just when it is, like you saw before, where, like, nothing was gaining me that just 1 point that I needed. Some very droll designs. I like that. I like these two. I like this Sunoco, and I'm gonna go with that one, even though I'm kind of partially yellow. But I can't have every car in my garage being bright yellow and orange. So that doesn't get you the point. Yeah. Nothing there. Always the 1 point over. Time's up. Sport room style. Okay, so there might be some possibilities in here. Let's play around with it. That's great. 1552 cast monoblock. Turbo Mac. Yes, I do want to install that setup. That puts you at 600. Big cactus in the way. Alright, look at those rims. Nice. Yeah, I still just don't like having that analog control and being able to swing around the car and view it 360. Earn an accolade. Spent 500,000 credits on upgrades, okay. Okay, looks like the nearest is that thing, Airfield Cross-Country Circuit. Go head down that way.
Turn around.
I've
It's safe to do so.
completed the hour that I wanted to play on stream. I had planned on playing an hour and then getting off.
200 yards. Turn left.
So we haven't been able to do a ton of racing tonight. We'll go ahead and go one more event before I jump off. Whoa. I was starting to play with just letting the wheel rock back on its own on the force feedback.
Turn right.
And we're going to go ahead and drive in cockpit to try and get a feel for this car in case, hopefully, we'll be able to use this at the next event. But yeah, I'm feeling comfortable enough with that I feel like I made a good choice in going with this wheel, and it feels like, I won't say that it's necessarily its money's worth, because of course it was a extravagant expense. I don't feel like it was, come on man, a complete failure to buy this wheel. So I do want to invest in some additional adapters for wheel handles for Formula 1 and World Rally, like I talked about, but
400 yards. Turn left.
I've also become convinced that I've spent already enough time racing this season 7, on the Rounding Off Infinity channel,
Turn left.
that I think I feel already kind of warranted in
In 200 yards. Turn left.
going ahead and buying a wheel for the Xbox.
Turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
And I don't think I'm going to buy this level of wheel. I say that I'm not going to buy this level of wheel, so we'll see how that goes. Okay. Stink, man. So I'm going to drive this Bronco, which I struggled with last night. It is still not souped up, despite the fact that I drove it for pregame, because I was just messing around with the wheel, and I wasn't really thinking about the fact of kind of tweaking my garage. So I will drive this, and then when I hop off stream, I will take it to the house and update this one. So quickly, since this is the last event for the night, we'll go around the horn on the tech that's being used for the live stream tonight. So for a capture card, I'm using the Elgato HD60S. For the in-game video, for the webcam, I'm using the Panasonic HDC HS80, which is kind of my secondary kind of higher end camcorder that I use for live stream sometimes. I'm pumping that through the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme GC550, so the original Live Gamer Extreme, the old USB 2.0 one. I've talked a little bit on stream about how I've sent back the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro, and am trying, I don't know why I haven't done it, but I've tried all sorts of stuff of picking like specific capture cards to use that I thought were best for using with cameras with their own HDMI out, and I don't know why I didn't just. It's just another video source, and so I don't know why I just haven't considered all of the capture cards for use. So the GC550 is the first one that I'm trying out, and it seems to be working pretty great. for a microphone. So I'm using the Go XLR mixer, and I have my SteelSeries Arctis 9s hooked up to it, and I'm using the on headset mic for those. I'm also using the Elgato Stream Deck, just one of the 15 key ones for running the stream in the automation. For lighting, I'm using one Elgato key light and then one Loombox broadcast lighting kit. And I think that is about it. Of course, like I said, I'm using the T300 RS Gran Turismo edition from Thrustmaster. And then at this battle station, I use a Razer Black Widow Mini keyboard, as well as the Razer 8 kilohertz Viper gaming mouse. I think that's about it. So that's about it for the tech in the stack tonight. Let's go ahead and run this. So it'll be interesting, if I am getting this down, it'll be interesting to then start cranking the challenge back up. Not necessarily changing the assists. I think I'm pretty good with the assists. I just need to get used to my standard assists with this wheel. Now this also, it's going to call into question, right, my standard way of approaching things, which is I'm using this wheel and pedals now, but I might just as soon be using my Xbox Series 2 Elite controller next time, or the Thrustmaster eSwap X Pro game controller, but the wheel and pedals feels great. The wheel and pedals definitely needs some proficiency reps, right, to stay tuned up with it. So I don't know if this is a case where my penchant for constantly changing, control schemes and stuff like that will hurt me more getting back to using the wheel and pedals. Yeah, and this is the thing too that I think I'm struggling to, again, kind of decide how to cognitively process this. Is there are points where like the wheel fights you back, but it's like a good thing, like the wheel is trying to get back to center, and sometimes that's what you need it to do, like it was just back there where you need to go with it. But then there are times that you like need to fight it, and picking which of those two times is the right time is the thing that I'm struggling with a little bit. Because again, the results can be catastrophic when you pick the wrong one. Yeah, I love these. These flippers are normally supposed to be used as gear shifters for people who don't like to use the clutch. But I like to use them for my look behind of my e-brake, and feels wonderful. I don't know what it is, but something in just how I am responding to the force feedback and the vibration tonight that I was just doing way radically wrong when I pre-gamed this last night is like all the difference in the world. Because again, just like I did, just like was the case when I first hooked up my Ferrari 458 Italia, same thing, man. I was all over the place. I couldn't drive the vehicles. It took me so long to tune that thing. One thing I did was I shortcut that potentially disastrous process last night by I just went and found a guide. I was like, with the Ferrari 458 Italia, I just convinced myself it was so many things that it was like force feedback for that particular game not working right and all sorts of stuff, and I think finally I went out and looked at some guides on that thing, but mostly I just struggled through it by myself. But last night I was like, this is a $500 piece of gear, like I'm just gonna go get some help. And so I went and found this one guy's website that I bookmarked, who has like a list of he also has a T300 RS, and he just has a web page with like a list and links to like all sorts of different games and the best settings and setups. And I tried to work through it. I did try and work through it some on my own last night, and a lot of his settings and my settings were the same. But again, like a lot of times with something like this, like those one or two settings, let's go. A lot of times like that, like one setting or two settings can just like make all the difference in the world between whether or not like you drive this thing like a total like 5-year-old driving a go-kart, or it starts to dial itself in, and I definitely hit that tip over point. So probably over the weekend, good chance that over the weekend I'll start cranking the driver tar difficulty back up. This is huge. Alright. New Horizon Adventure Chapter. So I think...
Hey, Perez.
Yeah.
We're ready to expand. What are you thinking this time?
So I'm unlucky.
Wait till you see this showcase. I have the train and conductor on standby. All I need now is a driver. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Oh, so those are like showcase type events. I do like those. I just don't like all the speed traps and like all the goofy like stuff. And I know that's what a lot of other people like, and why this game has become so popular, because you can do so many things other than just racing. But I play it primarily to get through the racing. And I will eventually go off and do some of those things, but I'm just not spending whole nights doing that stuff. Oh, 2 wheel spins. Surprised. I would have thought that they would have. I guess Casabella is the closest place. So when I step off stream tonight, I will mess around with trying to... Ooh, it's much later than I thought it was. I'll mess around with trying to
200 yards. Turn right.
up the driver tar difficulty.
Turn right.
That's what I think those red things were. Yeah. So hilarious. I'm glad that they finally implemented cat and mouse. And I mean, they've done it for quite some time, but way back in the day, cat and the mouse was something that like somehow got made up and got circulated around the Forza community. Actually, it was the Project Gotham racing community, really, and was like a made-up game that we used to play. Those were the days back when Xbox Live wasn't toxic.
In 400 yards. Turn left.
Yeah, and these pedals, even though these pedals aren't quite as heavy and don't quite have the stick that I thought that they would, the hugest thing, as much as I love the servo motor
Turn right.
in the, as I do it again, in the wheel mount itself, the main reason I was really looking forward to this upgrade was, no, Drift Zone. Yeah, I'm not playing Drift Zone. I think that's what he gave me a ration about last time. Was the wheel and pedals on the Ferrari 458 Italian, on some of these Thrustmaster kits, the less expensive ones, are all plastic, and they're incredibly light. And I used to do all sorts of things to try and get them to stick to the carpet without sliding around. But generally, it's like I would race, the thing would slip. At some point, like mid-race, I would have to like grab it with my 2 feet. It became a very high-end skill that I became good at. Grab it with my 2 feet and like slide it back and then finish the race, and then I would have to adjust it again when I got done. Didn't I? Okay. And so it was always a thing, and I hated it, and I thought about, even with those, like buying some type of mount or something that I could like fit them in. That would like, you know, some type of heavy mount that would get them to stay in place. I never did that or never built anything for that. And I was like, okay, so when we get this new high-end set, I believe that the wheel and pedals will be heavy enough. Yeah, I don't understand why this thing, and that's why I thought it was tuned, because it seems like it has a design to it, and usually I don't apply a design unless I've upgraded and tuned it, but that may have been how it came off the lot, or I may have gotten it at the auction house, and it came with some design already applied to it, which, like I mentioned yesterday, that's the thing that I'm like notoriously bad about, is buying a car at auction with some special livery on it, and then like immediately ripping that livery off to put some other design thing on it. Okay, so that is, yeah, so that's the first one. Oh, it only has the front end. Oh, that takes points off. Don't want to do that. Might have a lot of, you know, this might be a thing where I tried to bring it up and I couldn't. And that may have been an actual skin, perma skin that I had applied to it. No, this broke you up one. Alright, so the Racing Dynamics RS2 modular at a minimum will bring me up 1 point. I don't know if there's anything else that will bring you up any more. Okay, let's see if we could find that one again. Racing Dynamics RS2 modular. Mount those, see if there's anything else. Front room size. Nope, that's no help. Oh, wait a minute. So I haven't applied that other one, so yeah, none of these help. That's really weird. So the one that's installed will make it 97. Okay, so everything else will drop at a point. Okay, so nothing else to be gained there, so I'll add my one thing to bring me up to 597. Wait, is there? That's not all there was at that, right? Had I gone through rear rim size? Oh, maybe I had. Spray. License plate. Be really bothered if there's nothing else I can do with this thing. It doesn't appear that there is. It only has 2 points of upgrade. So we already applied those. Well, I guess that's all we can do. See if there are any new events. There is one up here, Oasis Cross Country. You guys could come along and ride with me onto my next. Then I'll finally drop off.
In 400 yards, turn left. Turn left. In 200 yards, turn sharp left.
So I will be back on Sunday afternoon is the plan. I've got an episode of the Game Junkie podcast to record with my friends Crystal and Elegant from Twitter.
In 400 yards, turn left.
So we're going to talk about the Microsoft and Activision acquisition in a slightly different. I know lots of podcasts have covered it already, but our approach to it is going to be a little different. I'm going to be talking about it from the technical and financial perspective, and then there will be an actual market analyst on the line with us who will be able to give far more insight, so that should be interesting. And then once I get done recording with them, then I'll be heading over here, go live and play some more Forza. .6 miles. Bad. Hilarious. I just decided to gun it and shoot the gap and come over. Again, felt very true to a real world driving experience, so it's pretty awesome. Just trying to go.
Destination.
Alright, well, thanks a lot for anybody who happened to swing by and join in on the live stream. I appreciate you. For anybody out there watching the archive version of this Let's Play on the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube, I appreciate you as well. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can just receive a notification whenever I post new content. Like I said, I will be back on Saturday afternoon about 3 p.m. As usual, the front page of the channel is updated with what the schedule and the plan is for tonight, as well as icons are posted as photos over on my Instagram page, if you want to check that out and see what the schedule is for the rest of the week, for the rest of the weekend. And then once we get through the weekend of live streams, I'll be getting back over to The Witcher 3 on the PlayStation 5 to play some more of that until my next new thing comes along. And sometime during the week, I'll figure out what the next streaming plan will be for next weekend. So once again, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, play the games that you like and stream the games that you love. Once again, my name has been Game Logic on the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube. One of the co-hosts of the Enough to Keep Going Weekly Games podcast on the E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube. Good night, good luck, and good gaming. That's going to do it for me. I'm out of here.